Aries. This is your March forecast. Happy birthday to you, my lovely Aries. So this month, it's a very interesting month because we've got eclipses this month. So it's always a very powerful time at the time of eclipses, and even more so because it's your birthday. So let's break this month down into the bite-sized pieces for you. On the 6th of March, we've got Mars, your ruler, coming into your 9th house. So Mars into the 9th house, this puts energy for you into anything concerning higher learning, higher education, publishing, getting some information out there. It's a great time for planning a trip, going on a trip, getting off somewhere that you'd really like to be. And it's also a really good time for exploring the meaning of life for you. If any month has got a lot of potential for you to find deeper meaning in your life, it's certainly March, dear Aries. It really is. So for those of you interested in meditation, in yoga, in retreats or healing or anything really that takes your spirituality, giving, how can I help, how can I volunteer, well, what's my place in this world, how can I give and receive more love, all of these questions are likely to be floating around somewhere. If they're not in your conscious mind, they may well be in your subconscious mind. Simply because on the 6th of March we've got Mercury coming into this 12th house, joining, as you can see, a lot of planets in the 12th house, particularly for the first half, just over the first half of this month. So the 12th house is very much the house where you go deeply into yourself, inside, where you do a lot of reflection, where you look at the past year, where you look at your successes, things you might like to have done a little bit better on, but also really giving yourself some time and space to be quiet, to be peaceful. Aries, very often you are out and about and your feet hardly touch the ground. Well, this is going to be a very important time to really, some of you may be looking at the past, maybe looking at a past relationship, maybe looking at something from the past that you can really learn from now. The light goes on, the Mercury says, now I know what that was about. Maybe there was something that happened and you couldn't really understand, what was I supposed to learn from that? Because it's a wonderful question to ask yourself all the time, especially if something happens that really, where did that come from? Okay, ask yourself, what can I learn from that experience? Yes, how can I benefit from it? And how can I help others to benefit from that, especially if there was a relationship involved in the situation? So with all this going on, and on the 9th of March, a new moon solar eclipse happening in Pisces, also in this 12th house, activating it. I wouldn't be surprised, Aries, if you have some very vivid dreams. If you, for those of you who are very psychic and who want to tune into that side of your being, boy, you'll have a wonderful opportunity to do that this month. Really powerful things can come to you. So maybe it's just a matter of meditating and sitting and asking for some creative solutions to the things in your life that maybe are a little challenging at the moment. Some different ways of seeing things. On the 13th of March, yay, wonderful news, Venus coming into your first house. Oh, isn't that lovely? Venus in your first house. It's great for a makeover, doing something beautiful, having your hair done, maybe chopped off, maybe a different color, maybe wearing something different. It's a great time for being popular, for getting out there, for meeting new people. Venus in the first, it's lovely. Only happens usually, let's say, once a year or so. So really make the most of this aspect, dear Aries, from the 13th of this month. On the 21st of the month, it's happy birthday time, and whoosh, the sun comes into your first house as well. On the 22nd, Mercury coming into your sign as well. So boy, things really hot up towards the latter part of the month. Yes, it's almost like you do a lot of reflection time in the early part of the month, and then whoosh, you're ready to go because you've got lots of ideas now, you're feeling creative, you're feeling excited, and all the planets are really boosting you along. They're giving you like, it's almost like the wind is behind you, it's pushing you along more easily. You know that when there's a really strong wind behind you, you almost feel as though your feet are being lifted off the ground. That's happened to me a few times. That's the energy of these planetary aspects in your sign happening but once a year. So enjoy it. And last but not least, on the 23rd of March, we've got a lunar eclipse happening in your 7th house of relationships. So, reflection, excitement, birthday, and something happening in a relationship. Could be more than one thing. So it could be something coming to fruition, something coming to culmination. And do remember that eclipses take effect for at least 6 months, often longer. Depends on your chart and the aspects. And you might want to check out my whole seminar that I did on the eclipses. You can buy the highlights of that for just £5, and it's about, I think it's about 5 or 6 videos. So that too might be interesting for you, because I cover a lot of the eclipses coming up in the next few years in it. But here we've got this lunar eclipse in that 7th house of relationship, shining a light on relationships. How you feel about yourself, and how you feel about the way you're interacting with other people. Do you want things to change? Do you want it to be different? Is the balance equal enough? Or is it too much giving in one direction and not enough in the other? Are you feeling a bit lonesome? Do you need to get out and meet more people? Have you got too many people in your life, and do some of them kind of need to fall by the wayside because you haven't got enough time to really nourish those relationships? They may be some of the questions that come up for you during this month. So really, that's the focus for you this month. Those are the main aspects of the news for March. So I wish you a wonderful month. Enjoy those eclipses. You might want to also look at my learning videos all about the houses. There's a free video all about the houses. There's also a paid series about learning astrology. And you might want to learn about what the things mean in the 12th house and the 7th house, all of these things, and see how those eclipses are going to be maybe a little more meaningful for you. So I wish you a wonderful birthday. Thank you very much for listening, for commenting, for sharing. Bye for now.